AussieVerse is back, ladies and gentlemen, with a brand new live chat. I am OmniBeau, joined by Mark, Grodd, Watson, and we have a house party for you today. Mark, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. I've gone through a very stressful day of watching footy for 3 hours. So, yeah, ready to get this party started.
Fair enough. People out there watching, please do us a favour, like, subscribe, and share the video so that we can make this a bigger community and bring more content to you. And speaking of that, we are going to announce a 400 subscriber giveaway today, so stay tuned for that. You can find us on AussieVerse Comics Collectors on Instagram, and also all of the thumbnails, the designs, the editing that's going to be coming up in future videos. That is all done by A51 Designs. Go check them out on Instagram for their work too. Enough of the plug-in. Let's get down to the loving and bring our guests along. Who we have, first of all, Sharif. How are you, buddy?
Hey, good, thank you. How's everyone?
Oh, very good,
we're
man.
good, Sharif. Good to have you.
Oh, good to be here.
Next up, we have on the agenda is good old Rob Lyle, Mr. Spedsy.
Hey, what's going on?
And last but not least, Neville Tiberius Howard.
What's up? How you guys going?
Hey, man.
Thank you all very much for joining us here today. It means a lot. Thank you very much.
Oh, pleasure. Thanks for having.
Nothing else
What's
to do
going on,
after 4
fellas,
days
out
of
there in the
drinking.
comic world? We are all drinking today. We should have called it a drinking comic chat. I don't know, something like
Drinking
that.
chat. Drinking chat. Drinking. Is it copyright?
Yeah,
Probably.
we trademarked that stuff.
Yeah. So Melbourne guys, any of you guys got to the Yarraville Fair yesterday? In and out?
Oh, I did.
No, I heard good things.
Yeah, man. It's the third one Billy's run, eh? And it's every time I get there, it's bigger. I think I sold it the first one, the second one not because I COVID. And yesterday's one was pretty much just too lazy, but it's such a good hangout too. It's not just the buying and selling, right? Because you get to know everybody online. So it's a good opportunity to just catch up with people and loiter in the corridor so people can't get to the books they want to buy. And a few dodgy car park deals when you have holding books and want to sell shit, which is great. Always a good event. So I recommend it if you're in Melbourne based. Check it out.
Yeah.
I always plan on going, but I don't. I wanted to go this week because our friend Neville, Mark, Edgar Art was there. I was going to go.
Yeah, man. I bumped into him fresh off the car park. Actually, I got out of my car and he came around the corner. You can spot him from 200 meters away with his beard. So yeah, it was good catching up with him.
Did you end up picking anything up?
I did, man. I picked a little bit of everything up actually. Some cool stuff, and Rob will probably appreciate this too. I got Riveri's Rick McClune, number 125. So I backed the Kickstarter, and he was about to mail it out to me. I'm like, just give me a pack, save yourself the trouble. And then one of the once-off. So I think they only did a test print of this, and it's such a cool cover, man. It's such a good book.
Yeah,
cool concept, everything. Yeah. So they were standouts from the local stuff that I got. I got some cult stuff. You guys know I'm into Aussie reprints and Aussie books, right? So I got this, which was really good. Fearful Tales of the Occult, number 1.
Nice.
I did have a laugh that they had to actually say, that they had to say that the story starts on page 2, which is funny. It's like, in case you don't know where you go, just go to page 2. So that was really good. I got another Journey into Mystery, number 117. So I only need 3 more to fill my run, which is great.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what's weird about You know what's weird about that page 2 thing? So I put out a book, and the inside cover was ads, and I gave it to my friend's kid because I thought he'd enjoy it. And the poor boy was reading the ads, trying to make sense of what was going on. And I was like, "Oh no, it starts like next page over." I'm just saying that starts on page 2. It would have been handy for him.
Just in case you know. Yeah. And maybe these guys, maybe they were onto something back in the 70s, but yeah. But I got a few things, man. But a little mismatch of everything. I didn't really spend a lot of money, but I spent a little bits everywhere.
I'll have to make
It was
an
really
effort.
just good to catch up with everybody. I think my words per minute chatting to everybody was probably 1,000 words a minute. You get distracted all the way through conversation, seeing somebody else, and there was a few Growlhunter shirts flying around, which was great.
That's awesome.
What's
going on with
Sharif, have you got
the,
any custom bindings done recently?
I'm still waiting for my second batch of books. The prints for those should have been ready last week, but I didn't get a call from the printers. So maybe a week delayed. But the first batch of 10. Well, I've only got 9. Yeah, 10th book. There was just a little bit of error that I asked them to rectify.
We have a couple of people out there.
Isn't it frustrating?
Sorry?
Isn't it frustrating as hell when you only find out after you printed something that you got to tweak things? I know that's why you do printed proofs, right? I get it. I totally get it. But Jesus, you read through it 50 times thinking I'm going to catch everything. And as soon as you open it, it's like, this is so obvious. This is so damn obvious. I printed one of the comics back in 2012 with a watermark on one of the pages. It's like, after staring at it for hours. Yeah, it happens, man. It happens.
Well, Mark and I are definitely going to have to make an effort, I think, to go to the Yarraville Fair next year. Because, I've wanted to go every year.
It's quarterly, right? It's quarterly. So the next one will probably be June, July. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, Billy's got it all sorted, man. And he had tables with local artists. There were toy guys, there were comic guys, there were a little bit of everything. So it was really nice. It was nice and diverse range of stuff. A little bit of something for everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Facebook user. We will. Well, let's get into some comic book news, shall we? Mark, you want to start her off?
Yeah, sure. So I'll start off with Warner Brothers now is considering Batgirl to be going straight to theaters instead of HBO Max. They'll do it. Yeah, they've only just sort of considered it today. I know it just finished filming, so maybe they've had a look at it and they've kind of liked it and just thought of it could make some money in the theater. So anybody have any thoughts on that or heard anything about it or interested about it?
It
is
is
it
funny
set
now.
in the Justice League universe or in the Batman universe, or is it its own thing? What's the go?
Does Warner Brothers even know? Rob, do you think Warner Brothers know?
Yeah.
Is it even in the DC world at all?
I think their strategy is like throwing a bunch of pickup sticks into a dark room and thinking it's going to land or something. The lack of coherence. Like they've got successful movies, right? They've been really good with Batman and Joker, and I like Suicide Squad 2 and stuff. But there just doesn't seem to be a overarching strategy that says let's do something. They try, and when they try, they fail miserably. And when they don't try, it looks like the movies as standalone work well. But there's just there's no coherence. It doesn't feel like they think a lot about it when they're actually planning stuff, unfortunately. Yeah.
Well, hopefully that changes now with Warner Brothers Discovery merger. As we mentioned last week in the live chat, they do want to rectify this finally and have somebody at the head, like a Kevin Feige sort of person.
Yeah, okay. So is Keaton, I just saw the comment there, is Keaton going to be in Batgirl as well, or just Flash?
Yeah, he's the Batman.
Okay.
So he's the Batman, and J.K. Simmons is going to be James Gordon as Barbara's dad.
This is just confusing now.
So they're tapping on a little bit of nostalgia there, that's for sure.
Yeah, Brendan Fraser has been cast to play Firefly as the villain.
Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
Wow.
We haven't seen him in a long while.
Yeah.
Doom Patrol lately, but yeah.
Yeah, he was good in Doom Patrol.
Yeah, I thought so.
Wasn't J.K. Simmons meant to play Commissioner Gordon in the Justice League? Or am I just totally...
Well,
wasn't that Instagram pit? He did?
He did, yeah.
Oh, wow. That's how well I remember that movie. It was not
you
for
ever
me.
see- Did you ever see the Snyder Cut?
No.
Oh man, you got to
Should
watch that. Yeah, it just like saying it shits all over the other Justice League is just is not doing it.
It's an
enough justice.
understatement, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
so
maybe
good.
I should. I just got so turned off by the I don't know.
Oh, dude, I get it.
the brouhaha of the
Rob,
fans.
I would tell you, I've got every Justice League comic since I started buying Justice Leagues back in 1980 something, right? And I'm passionate about the team and the characters and the interaction. If it's written right, if it's written shit, it's too bad, so sad. I still buy it. But having watched that movie, it almost turned me off buying comics. Because I'm like, geez, they can't make the easiest thing in the world work.
What's
And
your
then
favorite
the remake?
Justice League run?
Justice League International, Keith Giffen. So
Yeah.
Beetle, Booster, Green Lantern, Black Canary, Rocket Red, those guys.
Yeah,
So
that's
Keith
awesome.
Giffen, Kevin Maguire, and James Demetrius. They did the 60 issue run on that. That was amazing.
You won me over with Blue Beetle and Booster Gold.
Yeah. I'm actually sitting next to the box. I've got about 6 or 7 number ones of that, just purely because I can't stop buying it. Every time I see it, I'm like, I got to buy it. Just nostalgia.
Yeah, I'm ever so slowly, and I'm talking like with almost zero effort. Just when I see issues in back issue bins, building that collection of that run. Just because I've heard so many good things, I've never read it.
Absolutely, man. Issue 1 to 60
chunks
is
of
one
it
of
you'll
the best
find in
reads.
a $1 bin or whatever. So I was just like,
and that's the thing. There's no big keys there. There's no significant first appearances. It's just a really good quality story. It does cross over a few times to Justice League Europe and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but they're as easy to find, right? They're as easy to find. So definitely do yourself a favor. I would say I would credit myself buying comics today weekly because of that run still. Because I still try and find that spark, that way the creators, the team and everything works so perfectly. That was just the best run. It was like magic, man. It was magic.
Would you say that's your favorite run of all Marvel DC?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, that's awesome.
The close second would be Next Wave, Agents of Hate. It's a 12-issue series. I don't know if you guys have read that.
I've not.
I've always heard of the title.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, I've never known what it is.
Yeah, check it out. It is if almost like if their Justice League had to play off in the Marvel universe. It's the same type of dynamics, and the bad guys aren't really bad, the good guys aren't really good, and it's just all rounded stuff up. A little bit of Faulty Towers in between.
That does sound good then.
Yeah.
Is there another title that you collect as religiously as the Justice League?
Unfortunately, I would say at the moment, Batman and Detective Comics. I've been collecting that since about issue 400, and I haven't stopped. But I probably haven't read for the past 30 or 40 issues because I pick it up, I flick through it. It's just too one-dimensional for me, and I feel it's like a bit corporatized. There you go. Nick May knows it. I feel like the Batman comics are too corporatized. It's like engineered to, and there's not going to be any surprises. The Detective Comics, they might as well just take Batman out because it's just a cast of 20 Robins and Batgirls and Batwomans, and it's just so diluted. And I feel by them trying to expand it to try and justify the Bat family, they dilute the essence of what Batman is. So that's why I like the new Batman movie, right? It was just like literally him just doing what he does.
It's funny because I really liked the detective, the Rebirth detective, the first. Is that what I'm
from 935?
Yeah, the first kind of 6 trades worth or so of the detectives. All Tim Drake and Spoiler. Was she Spoiler? I can't remember.
Yeah, she was Spoiler. Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that little run with the Belfry.
It was the resurrection. Clayface was getting.
That's right. Yeah, he was amazing. Yeah. What for me, like I'm familiar with Clayface, but I had no interest. And then it's one of those things. Then I cared so much about him.
Yeah, made him sympathetic. Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
The only time I've read Batman consistently was the New 52, Scott Snyder's run. I loved that. I was nearly.
Which one was that?
Batman.
The Batman New 52. Yeah.
I loved that. All of that was just amazing to me.
One of my
Well,
favorite
my-
Batman run would be War Games, and I know that's like blasphemy for some. That's like one of the most what do you call it? Divisive. You love it or hate it, but I freaking love it. War Games with Catwoman and that's I'm a big spoiler person, and yeah, that's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah.
Am I going to be Bo? Am I going to be controversial in saying that I didn't like the Batman art? I don't like Capello's art.
No, that's totally fine.
Yeah. I feel like he distorts the faces a bit weirdly.
Yeah, that's cool. I loved the whole Court of Owls and Death of the Family.
Oh, the storyline was great. Yeah.
I just loved all that, man. And I was really close to just being a Batman fan. But I think I was just collecting too many titles at once, and I had to drop it because I'm not going to stick with a new title that I've only been with for a few months. Thank God for omnibuses.
They're too expensive. I can't believe you guys are so tempted with them. I look at it, I'm like, oh, I already own the comics. Now I've got to pay $150 for it.
I lied. This is my favorite. This is my favorite Batman story, which is ridiculous because Bruce Wayne's not in it. But I'm a sucker for the underdog. Dick Grayson putting on the cowl and having to live up to that mantle while Damian just hangs shit on him the whole time. Something like 3 trades worth. I mean, the whole Grant Morrison run I really enjoyed. There's some ups and downs, but this part, good golly, this and Streets of Gotham at the same time. Ooh, yeah.
So,
it's pretty beyond.
It's good to know you're a DC boy, man. There's not a lot of people who know DC that well, that's for sure.
Well, it's funny. I'm actually definitely a Marvel guy and a Gotham guy, if that makes sense. I'll dabble in the Justice League and bits and pieces, but it's kind of like I wish I could read everything, but it's just I feel like I kind of want to know everything that's going on in the world of. And I chose my world when I was 10, and I chose Marvel, and so that's the world I kind of try to know everything about. I failed miserably, but yeah.
Having touched on Justice League now too, right? Do you guys feel like it's almost an easy way out with the way it's being written now? And I'm talking to Sharif, obviously, and Rob in the sense of being comic creators, where it's just fighting one world-threatening villain and then the next world-threatening villain. There's no character development. There's no challenges of the people who are in the teams. It's really just fight some big bang dude for three issues and then you're on to the next one. It doesn't feel like they're a team. It doesn't feel like they care about each other. It's just about how do we overcome this dude who wants to destroy Metropolis or whatever. And I find that really boring. That's why I can't read it. I still buy it, flick through it, and I just put it in the box.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, Sharif?
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing with DC, isn't it? The way that they've built, it's just one event after another where they don't really take a breather. One character doesn't really talk with each other, and then we're just waiting for the next big thing.
And it's also the way sometimes it's written. Like somebody's just conveniently, after 3 pages of 2 characters fighting, all of a sudden the other dude happens to be in the background. It's just such an easy way to write it. There's just I don't know how to explain it. It's just soft writing, unfortunately for me.
Do you agree with that, Mark, or do you have a different point of view?
I don't read Justice League. I tend to stay away from team books just basically because of what Neville said. I like to dig deep into the character or the villain. And I think single titles do that a bit more, where team ups don't do as much. I love Justice League Dark, but Justice League is just something that's not interesting to me because of what Neville said. Because they just fight the big bad. It's a world crisis. Every team player is sort of tropey. They all have their one thing they do, and that's all they do. And it like Neville said, it gets a bit boring. So I just sort of stick to the single character titles.
And when you get to read Justice League International, where for 8 or 10 issues there might not even be a villain, I tell you, it's sometimes it's 5 pages of talking heads or sitting on a beach and making jokes and stuff. And that's why I'm like, these characters are awesome because I got into their head and I understand what makes them tick and stuff like that, right? I feel Tom King achieves it a little bit controversially with some of the stuff he's done. And he's an amazing writer in my eyes, but I think DC doesn't take that into canon, into their big team books and stuff. They don't take risks.
He deconstructs characters so well. Tom King does.
Yeah.
And some people find that annoying, where other people, like me, find it very interesting. I mean, like it's a deep dive into the character.
Yeah, I think last time I was on with you guys, I told you to read Human Target, right? And So the first 6 issues are out now, and the 6th one's it blew my mind. And I think they're taking a break to try and catch up with the art for the few issues, so that they can pump them out monthly.
Is that the Guy Gardner one? Was it?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, crazy.
Have they ever made a Batman family comic? Like, is there a title Batman Family?
I feel Detective is Batman Family.
It pretty much is now,
That's what I'm getting at. Why don't they just make a Batman Family?
Because there's already 40 Batman titles.
Well, I did count them the other day. There's 10 Batman titles at the moment. As of July.
That's probably excluding one-shots and DC Black titles and everything else, right?
Wow.
Yeah. So, and also, too, I was going to, in July, solicits Ram V's taken over Detective. And Chip Zdarsky's taken over Batman. So 2 new creators into Batman in the same month.
Chip Zdarsky on Batman. Wow.
Yes. And Ram V's my favourite writer at the moment, so it's pretty big.
So with
I don't know Ram V.
Zdarsky jumping on Batman Head, is he done with Daredevil?
No, he's still writing that. Yeah. Oh. That's gone back to number 1 as of June.
Fancy that. Fancy having your foot in both pools. And on huge, I mean, Daredevil's not number 1 seller, but that's a big legacy character. That's a huge deal. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is amazing, actually. So is Zdarsky not working on in Marvel at all anymore, or is it just Batman?
No, he's still doing Daredevil.
Oh no, sorry, not sorry. I'm getting my writers confused. Ram V, I mean, because he was doing Venom.
Yeah, he's doing Venom and Carnage, and he's still going to do them. He's doing Swamp Thing in DC. He's always done Swamp Thing, and he was doing Catwoman. And he only just jumped off. So yeah.
Wow. All right. So I guess it's not like the
busy man.
You have to stay with your own federation.
He's very good at horror, so that could be the direction Detective Comics is going. But yeah.
Interesting. All right. Yeah. Well, the next bit of business that we've got, you guys probably saw that Captain America #1 sold for $3.12 million.
Absolutely insane.
That is a lot of moolah.
I probably should upload some of my copies in.
There were a few records broken in the past few weeks, eh? It's just insane. Yeah. It's like you think, like, where is it going to end? And it just doesn't.
Yeah.
I look at the comics I collect and the Silver Age stuff I've got. I'm like, sometimes it's going to hit the roof, right? It's got to come down, or it's got to, and it just doesn't. Especially the big keys. Like I saw Spider-Man Amazing Fantasy 2.5 sold for $52,000 US, and last year it was a $19,000 book, right? So $52,500 for a 2.5 Amazing Fantasy.
Wow.
It's yeah.
That's insane. I was trying to explain to my dad the other day that what was it that sold in Spider-Man? The original art page of the black costume was a few weeks ago now.
Yeah, the Mike Zeck art. Yeah.
Yeah, that sold for a crazy amount of money.
Yeah, we actually had that on our panel at Supernova. We spoke about it. It's like 1.7 mil for the one page. Yeah. Black page. Yeah, for one page of art. Jeez. And I wonder Mike Zeck probably got nothing from that. I'm sure he's still signing comics.
Do you flip many of your slabs, Nev, or do you just accumulate?
Do you know what? It is liberating. So I do sell a lot, and I sell just so I can buy more. I often sit on multiples of stuff purely because I just buy the right timing. I just sell it off and buy things that I'm after.
Mm-hmm.
Like for instance, the Thor trailer. You guys, we haven't spoken about it, but that was amazing. The new Thor trailer. But the introduction, obviously, of Jane Foster as Thor, we knew it was coming for 2 years, right? And then as soon as the trailer drops, all of a sudden those books are hot. I'm like, they should have been hot 2 years ago because you knew it was coming. So a lot of people are FOMO, and I'm sitting on lucky enough to sitting on a bunch of copies because of the fact that I bought them when it was announced 3 or 4 years ago, rather than waiting till now. So I'll just
That's just
steadily.
stupid people, though.
Yeah, well, it is what it is, man. And there are a lot of people who are maybe new to collecting who haven't had it or to change their focus or whatever. But so I'll probably steady sell off some of them and just buy other things that I like.
Well, that's a good segue into the
Make
next
somebody
topic,
else rich.
the Thor trailer. What are your thoughts on that, Sharif? What did you think?
Oh man, so you know the after the trailer dropped, and then someone posted a screenshot of where one of the dead gods, and then a scene from
And the comic panel,
trailer.
Yeah.
I totally missed it because that issue I've read a while back, but
I missed that too. I
Yeah.
missed that too until someone showed it to me.
But I think the two things, Broken Hammond, Unbroken, and Thor's new suit, bright blue and real gold. Yeah, I just want to see how he got to that one. Yeah.
What did you think of that, Rob?
I mean, the easy answer is I loved it. And I
That's funny.
this will sound like a critique, but I love that there was kind of no idea what the story really is, except for like, I need to find out who I am. And it's like, awesome. But I also don't want to know the story. So I'm glad that it's just like, here's some cool, pretty shots. You know, this is in good hands. You love all these people. Here's the dream shot you've wanted, Natalie Portman holding the hammer. And as Sharif said, that it's not one that Captain America misplaced in the timeline. It's the one hella broke and somehow it's back together. I am all for it. I only just recently, like last week, rewatched Ragnarok for the 6th or 7th time.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to rewatch Infinity War for like the 100th time, and I thought I'll give myself that little entree first. And yeah, it's like, it's just freaking awesome. I don't know what to say about it. Thor, I've read a large chunk of Jason Aaron's Thor. I've never been a massive Thor guy. I loved Thunderstrike back in the day. But I love the
Thunderstrike
idea
was
of
the 90s, right? That was the epitome of 90s. They were trying to keep him like in the image relevant era. And I think that's probably what they're joking about with Thor's outfit, right? He's got the whole Thunderstrike outfit going.
Yeah.
Yes. I didn't even make that connection.
It's exactly what they're doing.
Almost. Yeah.
And I think it's all just basically a tip of the hat to that era, right?
Yeah.
Mark, what did you think when you saw it?
I reckon it looks cool. I like that it's still got sort of the
Who's Red Novella?
Red Neville.
I don't know. Red Novella
I've got one here. This is a red novella. It's a self-plug available on psychogender.com.
So yeah, I like the tone. I like that it's still on because I loved Thor Ragnarok. I really did. I liked the tone. I liked how Chris Hemsworth sort of grown into that role of being comedic, but also being a badass as well. And you're bringing back all the characters. I'm glad they didn't show Gore, the God Butcher, yet.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
So
I think
I'm glad they're keeping that underneath their hat and stuff like that. So, and as you said, like it was just little clips. It gave you no direction of what the movie was going at all. So I kind of like that.
Yeah, and you know what? Learning from how they did the Spider-Man trailer and Doctor Strange trailer, they give you a lot without giving you much, right?
Yeah,
and I think I like that about it. We can walk in there and Beta Ray Bill might very likely be in the movie, and we just won't see it coming. And we'll all be like fucking googling under the seat to try and buy his first appearance without somebody else getting in there first or something. I just think they're so smart about how they put their teasers and trailers out to, give you, make you hungry and just give you that reason to be excited, knowing that you're going to get more when you're in the cinemas.
So, as an obvious Thor fan, if you go check out Neville's profile pic on Facebook, what is it? What is it? Or actually, I used it for this thumbnail.
I did actually saw that. I laughed hard. Pretty much. Don't you worry.
What is it that you're looking forward to, Neville, with this new movie?
Do you know what? Right. The combination and what they got me in the trailer already was just the dynamics between him and Star-Lord. It's still there. It's like they didn't skip a beat with the relationships and the way the guys get along, and I love that about it. I love that the essence around that. I'm really excited to see how they introduce Jane Foster, because she comes from the old Thor movies where they were still trying to be very serious about it and stuff like that. But I do think, even if she's serious as Thor, it will probably be a nice contrast to what he's become. So I can't tell you which component exactly I'll be looking forward to the most. I'm a huge Jason Aaron fan. I'm a huge God of Thunder fan. So love seeing things like gore and that to come to life. But there's just too many things for me in that trailer that's just fires everything in my head, and I'm just too excited. Yeah. I can't tell you. Yeah.
And what about Korg?
Tell you now.
What about Korg playing the side character for the whole movie as a New Zealand? I assume you're from New Zealand. He's like,
Sorry, it's wrong, but that's funny.
He's a South African, mate.
I'm South African.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Oh, well, there you go.
I kom van Suid-Afrika, so ek kan in ander tale ook praat.
Okay.
No, nothing? Okay. Yeah, no, I'm not New Zealand.
Okay. Wow. All right, well, we'll just lucky this isn't live. We'll just edit that bit out. For
I think about 400,000 Kiwis just had a heart attack. I support the best rugby team in the world, not the second best, so I can't be a Kiwi.
Okay.
I'm actually really conflicted with this, because ultimately I loved Ragnarok. I was a huge fan of it because I thought it was hilarious, and it was just, plus, you had Hulk butt. What kind of a movie is humorous enough to add a big green Hulk butt in the movie? But in saying that, the problem with this tone of a Thor movie is that, as other people have said, we're never going to be able to get that big, massive Lord of the Rings style, over-the-top, dramatic, dark Thor movie that would also be really, really amazing to see, like a War of the Realms type of deal. But yeah, man, this movie's going to be great. I mean, Taika Waititi, you've got to have your faith in him, don't you? After all the stuff he's done since Thor as well, What We Do in the Shadows, and that German Hitler movie that he did.
Jojo Rabbit.
Jojo Rabbit, that was really funny too.
Jameson Rabbit.
But I will say, if the movie wasn't coming out in only about 2 months, maybe?
Yeah, 5th of July.
Yeah, July, is it?
Yeah, 5th of July, I think.
I am dying to know what Gore looks like. I'm dying to see what they've made him look like on the show, in the movie. The closest answer we've gotten is the newly released pop vinyl that they've got.
Yeah. Somebody, there's a Marvel Legends toy as well, I think.
Yeah, it's Marvel Legends toy.
Yeah.
It looks exactly like Christian Bale.
Yeah,
really.
And it'll be one of those things that in the last fight is when he'll take his true form.
The evolution of him. Yeah.
That's why he had the sword. He had that sword that he has in
the Necro sword.
Necro sword. Yeah.
So now, how are they going to do the Necro sword? Because we know as comic book fans, they what's the word I'm looking for? They canonize that as a symbiote. So they're just going to ignore all of that, aren't they? For sure.
Or they'll plan a hostile takeover of Sony in 2024, and they're anticipating getting it sorted out by then, by the next movie. We can only hope, man. We can only hope.
But to answer your question earlier, Martin, if we don't get Better Ray Bill in this movie, like, how many Thor movies can you make without a Better Ray Bill? Surely he's in it. I don't know how, but surely
I can tell you. By the end of that movie, Gore will evolve into the Gore we want to see. Jane Foster will be Thor. Thor might be the pseudo Odin or whatever, and Beta Ray Bill will have his own position in the lineup with Stormbreaker or something.
Now, was that Beta Ray Bill in Ragnarok on the tower when it had those faces? Was he
Yeah.
on that?
It was.
Yeah.
And then Throg has been in Loki, was trapped in a jar or something under the dirt. So they
Yeah,
exist.
they were hinting at it. Yeah, they hinted
Yeah.
at it. That's for sure.
Yeah, because apparently, Better Ray Bill was actually meant to be in Ragnarok, but they cut him out and they just left that scene in there. They thought it would just be a bit too much, or it didn't fit the flow of the movie, or whatever reason they had. So Taika Waititi obviously wants him in there.
Yeah.
Seems
Yeah.
like a
And also
perfect character.
considering the synchronicity they're creating with Guardians of the Galaxy and Thor at the moment, with the past few movies and now this one as well. We've got the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special coming out,
Yeah.
right? In 6 months or 7 months. This is
Yeah.
an amazing year considering we just went through COVID, right? But when that comes out, imagine having Peter Ray Bill in a Christmas special with Guardians of the Galaxy. That's my December sorted.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Have you guys got your Doctor Strange tickets yet?
No, but I plan to go during the day so I'm hoping that like on the 11 o'clock session I won't have an issue.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm going.
But I know you have
Yeah,
got an
you
issue.
might have to just
Everyone-
buy tickets in advance, man.
Yeah, but even like Infinity War, Endgame, Avengers 1, I never bought a ticket. Like everyone was like, have you got your ticket? And I'm like, nah, I'll be right. And then the day of, I saw it because I worked in a comic book shop too. So I didn't want them spoiled. And so I would just get my ticket the day before and just go to a weird timed session and all sorted. Just got to stay off that Twitter for 24 hours and you should.
Yeah, I've got the preview night tickets, so definitely gonna go.
So you'll be going on the 4th then, the Wednesday night, Nev?
Yeah, next Wednesday.
Yeah.
9 days. 9 days, man.
Yeah, man. I can't wait. All right. Next bit of business is I think we'll have to have a word from our sponsors, these nice magical gentlemen at ComX Studios. Here we go.
This show is sponsored by the ComX Shop. Check out comx.cx for all things ComX and find out what ComX is all about. Then head over to comx.shop to pick up a variety of Australian comics from multiple creators and publishers, all for one flat postage rate. We hope you enjoy the show.
And that's right. Whether you buy one comic or whether you buy 10 comics, it is all one cost. It's pretty damn good. You want to check out Aussie talent? You want to support Aussie talent? You want to buy Aussie comics in general? Go check out ComX. There is no I in ComX.
Nice.
And we'll continue. What's the next bit of news? Anybody got anything next?
I got one. Now, apparently this rumor came out that Tom Cruise as Iron Man is rumored to be in 15 minutes of screen time, Doctor Strange.
Wow.
Apparently, from a source.
Yeah, Superior Iron Man. Yeah.
Spoiler
Yeah,
alert.
yeah. 15 minutes is a long time.
There's just
That's
too many rumors
yeah.
from too many different angles confirming that this could happen. And
Yeah. It's got to happen now, doesn't it? Because there's just too many rumors. I don't know if 15 minutes is something, but it's definitely.
Yeah, I don't know if I want 15 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
It's time taken away from I want more Stephen Strange and Wanda running around. Not Tom Cruise doing stuff.
maybe it's 15 minutes mid-credits for you, Rob.
Yeah. Just a box in the corner while it all
Yeah,
scrolls by,
that's
just dancing.
Like a screen in screen. That's it.
Yeah. I didn't love that Superior Iron Man run. I think I bowed out a few issues in.
Oh, really?
That was a weird time when that was Axis, right? Just after
Yeah.
which I thought is such a genius pitch. I imagine it's just imagine a line and on one is good and one's bad and in the middle is neutral, and then so to the very edge of good is Captain America, to the very edge of bad is Carnage, and in the middle you've got sort of the Punisher and Magneto, and they're sort of ones on the just near the neutral ones, and then you flip that and now the best baddie becomes the best goodie, and I thought the pitch part of it was awesome. I just don't know whether I loved it as much as I loved the idea of it.
It's like when
And
they
then-
had a great idea and they just don't stick the landing, you know, like WCW invades WWE was the worst time in wrestling, you know, and it should have been the best time. And here you've got a great storyline, exactly like the way that you just said, Rob. And from memory, the only ones that changed were Iron Man, Carnage, Hobgoblin, and I can't think of anybody else. Like, that's like 3 characters out of the whole Marvel universe that you could have had a bad Captain America, a bad Spider-Man, a good, I don't know, name another villain. And it's just, what a wasted opportunity that was.
So sorry to hog the screen time, but I just have 2 comments I wish to make. That yes, it was a horrible time. They launched Sam Wilson's Captain America at that time, and for the first 5 issues, he's evil. So because he was messed up because of the Axis. So if you were like, oh, I really want to see what Sam Wilson's like as Captain America, he was an asshole. He was like a villain. It was really strange. But WCW invading WWF. The sad thing is, if you go back, I mean, the problem was that WWF or E now was stacked to the brim with main eventers, and then the WCW was all jabronis. But then if you look back at those jabronis, they'd all be main eventers now. Like they're all like, they were top guys, but they were just dwarfed by absolute mega superstars. That's my little wrestling tidbit. But yeah.
Oh, mate, I could talk about this for at least an hour. I'm telling you about why I disagree with you and why I do agree with you at the same time. We'll have to bring you on, Rob, for the wrestling show. I think.
I am ready. I'm ready.
And if you guys are enjoying these 2 gentlemen and you want to check out more of their work, you can find Neville on Instagram right here as the Comic Hunter. And also don't forget to check out the Facebook group Grail Hunters, which is a great little community. It's not so little anymore, is it? It's a great community where they share all things comics and really support each other. It's a really great place to hang around. And if you want to check out Rob, go check him out here on Instagram as his moniker Spedsy.
Yeah.
While we're talking about that, actually, let's do this one, shall we? Here we go.
Are we going into the vortex?
Yep.
No, we didn't get to. Look at that skinny website.
Anybody wants to check out Rob's work, where do you go, Rob?
Psychojanitor.com has all my stuff. You can find my silly books, The Devil's Toilet, Vamoose, my little bit more serious books, Larrikin and Just and Rick McClune. Stuff for everybody. I don't know if that's true, but there's stuff there. Take a look. Just a 44-year-old old man chasing the dreams of his 16-year-old self and refuses to give up. What a fool.
Tell people what The Devil's Toilet's about, because out of all the titles you've got there, I think that's the one that's going to attract strangers to your work there.
Yes, well, The Devil's Toilet is a toilet in hell that comes to life and immediately regrets his surroundings and wants to escape. He manages to find his way to Earth, but inadvertently brings the apocalypse with him. His bowl is not a regular toilet bowl. It is a portal for the devil himself to escape through and bring about a mile-high demon guy terrorizing the Earth. So the Devil's Toilet teams up with a whole bunch of characters from the Spedsyverse to try and put the devil back from whence he came. There's a whole bunch of, you'll find there's a guy called OmniBeau. He has a octopus for a head. Detective Frederick Cheloney. He's a turtle from the 1800s. Who else is there? Annika, the Angel of Awesome. She comes to seek revenge for her brother, who is an angel that was banished from heaven to then be flayed from in hell. He's named Meat Sack Jack. So there's all kinds of craziness. Get on board the nonsense train and shoot.
You've also got Sluggish and Vamoose.
Yes, Sluggish. Who needs action, adventure, and thrilling heroics when you can have depression, anxiety, and slugs? For the longest time, I thought my silly artwork needed to be teamed up with silly writing. And then people slowly but surely convinced me that that was stupid and that I could bring my serious writing to my silly cartoons. So this book deals with some heady topics, but with my usual humorous slant. So come and watch a green fat slug try and muster the energy to get off the couch. We can all relate. Vortex.
Which one's your favourite comic to write, or is that too hard to answer? Like, which one's your favourite child?
Well, Sluggish at the moment it's kind of zine-like, and it's a real indie sort of book. So it's my favorite because it's the quickest to make, if that makes sense. Like, it goes from not existing to existing in a matter of months. Whereas the Devil's Toilet, hey, there's Nick May, co-creator of Vamoose. The Devil's Toilet is kind of like, it's my Fantastic Four. That's where I debut my Black Panther and my Namor and all that sort of stuff. So it's much more than just a toilet. It's kind of the entry point to it's my flagship title sort of thing, where I put all my stuff.
Awesome. And Neville, have you got anything?
No, I was just going to say, it's a huge coincidence. Part of my anatomy is also meat sack Jack. That's what I call it. Sorry.
What are you doing in Grail Hunters at the moment? Haven't you got some sort of signing? Oh, no.
Look, we just got a few back, right? And I happened to have them here. I didn't prepare them for the call. A few weeks back, we did a call out for, a few months back, we did a call for Gorkin Dema. Do you guys know him? It sounds like Debbie Borger, Mark Watson, but it's not. Gorkin Dema is an artist, so he did a few. I'll take it out so you can see. There's less glare. Still less glare. There you go. That helps.
Oh yeah.
He did a bunch of sketch covers and got sent to CGC for us. So they just came back. I've got the Tom Taylor detective comic that he wrote, like a 5-issue miniseries. We've got about 45 coming from Halo at the moment. And then also got a whole bunch that's currently with CGC for George Perez, including, and also Brian Michael Bendis. So it's keeping me busy. But I am cooking up a super secret project for San Diego Comic-Con. So I'm working towards the July deadline. And it's all about local creators and local comics over the eras. Can't give away too much just yet, but I'll tell you guys when we're ready to go.
That sounds amazing.
Is it super? Because I thought I've heard you talk about, unless it's a different thing.
Sorry,
is it a? I thought it was common knowledge. Was it? Is that a hint?
Oh no, the PvP stuff. No, that's something else.
No,
so I'm working on something totally separate. So I'm doing do you guys remember the trump cards that you played with, like motorbikes and cars and that type of stuff?
Yeah.
So I'm doing a 36 card Australian comic characters where it's powers and abilities and size and history and biography with a little link to the creators' pages. So you're going to have 36 cards like that. Currently working on that towards July, August this year. But there's a different secret project that I'm working on for San Diego. So I can't say too much about that. But once it's ready to go, you guys will know about it. It's going to be amazing, in my opinion.
What did you say you're doing with Brian Michael Bendis?
I did a submission for signature submission, so a whole bunch of stuff signed.
Nice! I'd like
so
to
it was
one day.
Yeah, it was Bendis and Bagley signature submission for. So yeah,
Bagley's my favorite.
Yeah, I did 10 Ultimate Fallout 4s that I sent in, and 6 or 7 Amazing Spider-Man 361s for myself and a few people. Yeah,
that's nice.
So I'm excited to get them back. Yeah. And obviously we just got our hoodies and t-shirts distributed. That was a huge order. Every time I do it, I'm like, people had it like 7 months ago. We just did t-shirts, and then there was another order of 70 or 80 hoodies and t-shirts and stuff that I had to post out. So I'm a master poster. I can tell you guys that. I could save you a lot of money shipping because I know how to pack shit tight.
Mark, you got any other news for us, champ?
There was just little ones like Nick Cage wants to play Egghead. Anyone any thoughts on that?
Nick Cage playing Egghead, like, geez, mate. I could see it.
Sign me up, but not for Matt Reeves.
Yeah. All right, well, maybe it's a good time that we talk about the 400 sub, huh?
Yeah.
So Mark and I were trying to work out what is it that we can give away when we get to 400 subscribers. And everything that we sort of came up with, we then realized, you know, whether it's a book or a slab or a shirt or who knows what the hell, everything that we think might be good might not be good enough. It might not suit the person who wins its tastes, right? So if I give you a Spider-Man slab, what if you hate Spider-Man? If I buy you a hardcover omnibus, what if you don't want that omnibus, you know? So we thought the easiest way to get around that is to just simply buy a freaking $100 Amazon gift card, and that way you can buy whatever the hell you want. And at first, I thought it sounded a little trying to get the easy way out, but then I thought, no, you know what, man? If I was subbing to a channel, and if the prize up for grabs wasn't something that I really wanted, then $100 gift card is pretty damn good. So that's what we've decided on. When we get to 400 subscribers, we're going to ask the people that want to get involved to put a comment onto the video. And everybody that does put a comment in the video, we will then put it into a name generator. And whoever wins that will get that $100 Amazon gift card. And hopefully, yeah, that's good enough.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was hoping you were going to say PS5 because I really wanted a PS5. But...
I want a PS5.
Yeah.
Somebody give OmniBeau one when you hit 400.
Yeah.
Get PS5.
When we get 400 subscribers, you buy me a PS5.
Yeah. If everyone chipped in a couple of dollars, it's doable.
All right. Well, the only other news that I've really got is a book that I've always planned on reading, but I never have, but seems to have a really huge following, is Bone. You guys know Bone?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, they were making a Netflix series, and it's now been cancelled.
Yes. Did you see the little comic strip that the creator put up?
No, I didn't.
He just did a little strip of someone holding a gridiron ball on the ground. You know how they get ready to kick it, and they can you tell I follow sports? Someone does this, and there's a ball, and then someone kicks it.
Hold up.
Yeah, and it's like, hey, Amazon wants to make a version of the show of Bone, and he's like, sounds good. All right, let's do it. And then he goes to kick it, and the guy pulls the ball away. And then it's like HBO wants to make a Bone, and then they go to kick it and pulls the bone away, the ball away. And then this Netflix one, same thing. And then the last panel is kind of like he won't be he's pretty much no more offers. I'm done, sort of thing. Yeah,
classic peanut Charlie Brown.
Yeah. It did say an after Schultz thing at the end, so yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
What about, have you guys ever bothered to go back and watch the really old, campy, crappy but lovable Marvel movies back in the 70s and 80s? You know, like Nicholas Hammond's Spider-Man and Daniel.
I literally just bought the VHS, man. And it's first release, Nicholas Hammond Spider-Man. Because he's touring Australia, right? The first movie. It was made for TV. And he's touring Australia with Supernova doing signatures. So I actually got that for the Melbourne Supernova for him to sign.
Keep your
peanuts. It arrived at my office the Monday after Supernova, so he never signed it for me. So I've got Pete Helfgott going to get it signed for me in Perth at Supernova, and then I will probably watch it before I do something with it. try and play a bit or whatever.
I've always wanted Nicholas Hammond's Spider-Man to be on DVD because, you know, you want it to be part of the collection, right?
Yeah.
And I've got so many of the other ones already, like that really horrible Captain America movie with that really horrible looking red skull, you know. And I saw a movie the other day that I forgot existed, and I've never actually seen it, and it's now coming to Blu-ray. So hopefully this might mean something good for the Spider-Man. And it's the 1978 Doctor Strange movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
You ever seen that?
Seen it, but I know I've seen pictures of it. Yeah.
So apparently in the movie he's a shrink. He's not a surgeon. And there's a few other things that are just strange. But yeah, I definitely want to check that out when it comes on DVD and have a good laugh. The other one I never managed to watch either was the David Hasselhoff Nick Fury one.
yeah.
I think I watched that.
I've heard about that one, and I heard how bad that was. So I thought I'm just gonna spare. It's gonna be an hour of my life that I won't get back. So
I think I watched that in the cinema, Sharif. That's how old I am.
I'll let that one go through the keeper.
Did you guys ever bother seeing? It's only on YouTube now, but did you ever see that old Fantastic Four movie that was only made to keep the name? They made a doco over it.
yeah.
Yeah, same. I'm familiar with it. Like I've seen the trailers and stuff, but I'm so not I'm gonna watch this bad movie. I'm just like, it's just a pastime. I don't know. I've watched plenty of bad movies, but I went into it thinking they were going to be good.
It was good.
Yeah,
But
I
think the strategy is different when. Yeah,
One at a time.
No, I think my strategy going into it would be I'd put it on in the background while I'm doing something else, and I'll be mildly entertained without dedicating my time to it.
Yeah,
I find it tough dedicating my time to anything for an hour and a half in front of a TV. Like I would be surfing Facebook, buying or selling comics, or I don't know, drunk posting or something. I just can't sit for 90 minutes unless I'm actually in a cinema.
Yeah, that's fair.
and then you need to pee from the first 5 minutes. You're like, oh, when do I pee? You got to plan my pee.
I think you just read my mind. We're 57 minutes in. I'm like the oldest on this chat, man.
There's always that bit where you're sort of like, do I run and pee so I can enjoy the next hour, or do I hold it and the whole time be like, I need to pee? It's really And
it's the one thing that's on
that
your
should
mind.
be an entire episode because I think everybody will be different.
Yeah, but the good thing is, like when I went and saw like Endgame or something, so I went and peed. So I missed whatever bit, but then when I went and saw it again, like a week later, I peed at a different time. So I got to see that bit. Yeah.
Isn't that? Hang on. Isn't that what the cup's for when you finish drinking it?
I drink out of mine, so
And then you swap it with a cup of whoever's sitting next to you.
There used to be an app, or there was an app, and I don't think it went through and got real popular. But it was if you went to the cinema, it would tell you the best time to go for a pee. So it would alert you in there, and it would tell you what happened in the app while you went for a pee. So you come back. It was only a small, like this is the best time to go. It's just a little chat scene, and it will tell you what happened. So you go back, nothing, but it never eventuated. Like there was an idea out there, and I'm just going, that's a really good idea.
That is a George Costanza idea if I've ever heard one.
I never run faster than when I run for a pee during a Marvel movie. Like I can't run to save my life, but when it's pee time during Doctor Strange, I'm sprinting down. And it's like you politely queue up with your ticket and all that sort of stuff. When it's peeing in the middle of the movie, sorry, sir, where's your ticket? No, peace out. I'm gone.
I didn't wash my hands.
Yeah.
Don't check my ticket.
Just toss them your driver's license on the way past. Look, I don't know if it's the best or the worst advertisement for our podcast, but we spent half an episode talking about peeing and bowel movements on planes when you fly to America. It's like, when's the best time to go? Like, it's a challenge. It's a challenge when it's a 17-hour flight and you have to. It's life or death choices, man.
I forgot you had that podcast. Tell everybody where to find you, mate, and what's it called?
Oh man, podcast. It's Grodd Lanterns Comics podcast. It's on Spotify. It's on Apple. It's everywhere. we were supposed to start the Supernova as our first episode of season 3. I just got the files back. I've got to edit it so that we can kick it off again. But we took a break over summer now that COVID's over, and we'll be back at it.
Yeah, beauty.
About 50 episodes strong. It's good, man.
Wow.
that's
Yeah,
awesome.
that is good. Mark and I wanted to do a podcast as well where we just take the audio from these nights and just upload them. And we never had. And today was the first day I really looked into it because Mark, myself, and Ryan Moore, we did a Spider-Man video that's going to be debuting next week about the 20th anniversary of the Spider-Man movie. So I looked into it, and it was a real pain in the ass putting it into the zip file and working out how to do it all. We worked it all out, uploaded it to Spotify. I send Mark the screenshots, and I'm like, hey, look, we've done it. We're going to be on Spotify. And he's like, yeah. And then I went to re-download the audio from past streams, and then the next page was, now you got to pay. The first one's free.
Oh, yeah. Nothing's free in life, man.
Yeah.
But also, I think when you have an audience that they don't take part in it visually, you've always got to be describing what you're showing and what you're talking about. And when you do it like this, and you convert it to audio, a lot of that gets lost. Like I could flick a slab or a comic, and I can just show it, and it's there. Whereas you kind of have to talk through it. You got to train yourself to talk through stuff when you're on podcast, because most of the people will just be listening to it in the background. While they're watching some shitty movie, I'm sure.
Like Fantastic Four.
Like Fantastic Four.
Like any Fantastic Four movie ever.
Mind you, Fantastic Four 2, when Human Torch chased the Silver Surfer, that was a scene and a half of full cream milk.
Mate, I loved that Silver Surfer in that movie. I thought he was perfect.
That was probably the best scene of all of the Fantastic Four movies too, right?
Yeah,
I must say that first appearance of him on screen was really good. I still remember
it. Was
really,
like they're
really
at the
good.
wedding. Someone's getting married. I can't remember. And they're on top of that building, and he zooms by, and then Reed's just like, Johnny. He's like, I'm on it. Flame on. And I was just like, whoa, here we go. Cut to like 5 minutes of awesomeness, and then back to,
back to an hour and a half.
It was all right. We've got like Iron Man goggles on now where we rejudge everything. Like,
I'm
X-Men 2
scared
was
to
the
watch those
best
movies
freaking
again.
movie ever back in the day.
Yeah, I'm scared to watch any of those movies again. I'm actually excited. The only ones I really want to watch again is Ghost Rider. Purely because even at that point in time, it wasn't great. But now I think I like Nicolas Cage even more. So I'll go back to it.
Ghost Rider 1.
Second one's a bit of a battle.
Ghost Rider 2, oh man. As soon as I saw him peeing with the flame coming out of his pee-pee, that's it. That was all over for me.
Yeah, and see, my understanding was he's all bone, but like when his head, like, and the penises don't have a bone. I don't want to break it, those who don't know. They're called boners, but there's no bone in them. But
Speak for yourself.
Isn't that where the boner comes from?
Yeah.
Somebody just didn't look up gonorrhea medically. It feels like you're burning. Literally.
Yeah.
We've all been Ghost Rider at some time of our life.
No, not me. I only had crabs.
Oh God, you need a truth stick on this thing.
All right. That's it. We're done. I'm sure Nev needs a pee. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Spedsy, Nev, and Sharif, thank you so much for joining us today.
Pleasure,
man.
Thank you.
Anytime you guys want to come back on, you know where to find us. Monday nights at 7:30. Hit us up. You're always welcome.
Awesome. Thanks so much, guys.
Good luck. Cheers, guys.
Thanks for joining us, guys.
Any pearls of wisdom, Mark, before we go?
No, not really. I guess, like, how stupid of a name was Killer Whale when they named Killer Whale? Like, it's not even a whale. It's a fucking dolphin. Like, was Killer Dolphin taken?
And that's been Mark, and that's been Mark's moment. We will see you here next Monday for the next live chat. We will also be doing our Thursday Moon Knight episode review, which, given the feedback that we've gotten from our last reviews, we have now got a better structured program for reviewing, which you will see when we do the Spider-Man 20th anniversary video that is coming out as well. And we are also going to be doing the next part 2 of Through the MCU. The second part is the Incredible Hulk. Any of you boys want to participate in that, feel free. Otherwise, we will see you on the next live chat. Have a great night, everybody. And remember, AussieVerse for life.